Hello, welcome back to Seawolf's Den. I'm crafting Ron. Some time ago, I did this craft, or redid it, repaired it because it fell. And I told you I had another boat, and that one's sitting right next to it, and it is incomplete. It needs some painting, but I'm going to do a video about how I built this, what's in it. It's an old carrying case for Skylander Giants, and I did multiple things with it and just never finished it because painting it was kind of a pain. So let's do this. This is a monstrosity that I started after I'd done the first boat. My son was getting out of Skylander Giants, and my wife was going to throw this toy away. And I'll throw up pictures of the original. It's a storage unit or a storage toy for his Skylander Giants. Quite literally opens up. And so I had multiple parts that I built an interior for it, and then the exterior became kind of a pain to paint, and so I didn't finish it. And so, as you can see, there's a variety of different things I painted, I built. I'm going to go through all of that. All right, so this is, as you're looking at it, so from the top, I used granny grade to create some decks and some 40K bits. I made this kind of an engine looking thing with other 40K bits. All that's 40K bits. I love the interior, and in fact I built a walkway for a second deck, and inside I was going to have engineering here. I made an engineering, I don't even know where that part came from, but I used 40K parts to make a display. You can see that here, and I have never used this for a game, so that's still pending. I have a big engine that turned out to be a little bit bigger than I had planned, and these are just bubble tape containers, and I created this engine here. So yeah, definitely bigger than it needs to be. I think I was going to pretty much do it this way. I also have other parts that I made. That was my plan for this interior. And then this deck, I put foam down and made, and it's got dust all over it now. I put foam down for the deck plating, painted it up. I don't think I've I did ink it, or I did wash it, but I don't think I did a good job dry brushing it. And then I made the railings the same way as I did the other one, except this was poking through plastic, which was a challenge. And then I had these Halloween Reaper toys, and I just felt like they would look great just as something like that. And if you look at it from the front, it just looks menacing. I drilled through it to put some PVC to mount these. This originally came with these little wheelhouse, and so I modified them to be more RPG friendly looking things. Turning around, I added detail, bought some doors, and they were sit here, other 40K bits here, and these would just sit inside, snap inside there, and so I could have two decks. Now, where things kind of went off the rails with this was just the paint job, because I spray painted it and then messed it up, and then pieces started falling off. My repair job is going to be to add back the parts that have fallen off, maybe adding extra parts. I built some cannons based on the cannons that they supplied, and it was just a silly looking cannon. These cannons I modified to, and they sit inside there, and I'll probably glue those in so that they would stay. But yeah, I've got two cannons, put some more 40K bits on the side, give it more of a scale, more of a look. Modified the tail with some plastic parts, and then of course I added these nacelles, as pretty much anybody in Star Trek would call them, for landing gear. But I found out once I put the Reaper things on, it's kind of front heavy, so I'm going to have to put some bottle caps down here to give it some landing, a little bit more landing gear, and these need touch up. These have been sitting around forever, waiting to be fixed and waiting to be cleaned up. But I thought it was a great opportunity to create this massive ship terrain thing for an RPG. The sad part is I never got to use it, so I got to plan something for that. And I had other things on the deck here. I had this cannon, missile launcher, Point of interest, kind of a engine, another 40K bit that I just threw together. Kind of looks like a crane type thing. You put that up front or whatever. This could easily lay on the front deck as a means to air circulation for the lower decks. And that's about it. Oh, I had this. This came in 2 parts. Again, another lot of crap toys. I don't even know what this is from, but I modified it up with some steampunk looking things. This came with that same lot and it looked like a Happy Meal toy. So I mounted the 2, and this could be like the big bad weapon, like why they have to kill it, why they have to destroy this boat, because it's like wiping out whole villages or something. The problem is it's big. So I have to either have that or that, one or the other. Oh, I know what this is. This is a crystal. This, during COVID, we did communion, and they had communion in these little cups, prepackaged cups with the bread and the grape juice. Well, I saved it, and this turned out to be a really good thing you can mount on. So this is kind of give you a look at what I intended it to look like. I absolutely love this idea when I was putting it together. I just hate that I could not finish. I did not finish it, seeing it is top heavy. So first thing I'm going to do is mount these bottle caps on the bottom so it's not so top heavy. Then we're going to repair it, try to repaint it. So bear with me. It's been sitting around, fell off a shelf at one point, but I want to finish it. So I don't know what you want to call this, but we can call it the Reaper. How about that? Until next time. All right, well, here we are. I'm kind of going over a new paint job. The first paint job was spray paint, and as you know, if you spray paint and then you start to detail and you screw up, you have to have the same color to do the touch-ups. And I know you can spray the paint into a bottle or can and container, but I ran out of it. So I'm using a country gray, which was pretty close to the aircraft gray that I originally used, and we're just gonna redo this. And I just kind of wanted to go over some of the things I've done. Originally, you can see here, the bottom was like a cloud-like thing, and I ended up throwing that away, or I may still have it somewhere. So I took it off, and I think with this recraft, I may look for a way to cover that up. I don't know. But what I did for these nacelles are a number of things put together. Of course, this is PVC. I drilled a hole up through there, or up through the hull, and so that PVC could be screwed in. I used another threaded ends for PVC and threaded through. You can see that when I flip it over, and it's wet right now. Of course, these here are all applesauce tops, kind of making those like vertical jets. I need to put something on this end, obviously, because it is top heavy when I get the Reaper blades up on top, and I'll get into that later. These are, to top off the PVC, I used ends of alcohol bottles. If adult drinks come with these ends, and I feel like they look good. I'm going to repaint these with a different gray. All this gray end up being like a satin or gloss, and I really want to just do that all over again. Again, more applesauce on the front end, kind of Star Trek-y, but I was okay with that. And that's the start of it. Now I'm going to try to detail this a little bit better, make things pop, and then I'm going to wash it with a light layer of black wash, and then maybe dry brush it afterwards to kind of give it a real kind of grungy look. Everything I've done so far has been to try to make it look less cartoony. I mean, the propeller was kind of silly looking, but I kept it there. The fin was stupid, so I added extra fins to make it look more practical. Just some pieces of plastic I cut from something I was throwing away. Outside of that, this is just the start of the new paint job, and I wanted to kind of go over some of the parts I used. I flipped this over without too much trouble. On the inside is the other end of those PVCs, and I used more of the alcohol bottle ends to disguise it. I feel like that looks kind of cool, kind of a access panel into the engines. So, until next time. Summer's been kind of crazy, so I've been kind of busy, so I'm not going to get a whole lot
the videos out. This one took a while because painting took a while. I redid the catwalk also because I just didn't like the way that was. I like it a little bit better. Not perfect, but works. Table ready. But I did paint this a little bit better than it was, and I'm at this point pretty happy with it. I still got to put the cannon or the gun in there, but problem is when I put it in like this, it tends to point down and then it's just too long. So I'm going to probably pin it so it sticks out like that, because it won't stay in there otherwise. But I did get the side guns and painted those up a little bit better. Now, this is not done. This is base paint with some detail, and I'm going to do a light wash over it and then some dry brush. So I'm reasonably happy with that. I repainted the inside to be a little more uniform and cleaned up and fixed most of the props that are in there. Got the engine fixed, or the reactor, a little doodad there. Control panel, which I've decided to put up here. And there you go, engine room. Now, I redid the top deck. Actually ended up switching these two towers, the top parts. They broke off and I felt like they looked better. Glued them down so they stay. So there's still something I have to do, and if you look at it from this point of view, we've got a door opening up to nothing, just a straight drop down. I've got a ladder over here, but this drops down to nothing. I'm gonna try to build some kind of platform that sticks out there right over that. And that's one thing I want to kind of make logical sense out of. Either that or I'm going to put a ladder there. Another thing here, this side is this door. A door to nowhere. And two windows for that matter. They're not here. I want to print a reasonably matching door for the other side. Maybe put some washers here to represent the windows. Kind of match them up as close as I can. And then underneath that door, I'm going to put another platform and maybe a ladder. I've got a ladder I've made from sprues. That's a little long. I'll just cut it, go to that platform. It's going to stick out just a little bit, just enough to hold one miniature. So if I put a miniature there, it's got to be that wide. I am still trying to figure out a good way to make a platform, especially when this part is curved. Cut it just right, and make sure that it's flush against this wall, and then the door is in the right place. So I'm debating on just creating another type of platform like this out of cardboard and granny mesh, and that might be what I do. I'm not quite as complex as this one, but something like that. So the boat is continuing. I have worked on it. The paint took forever and it was a mess, and it was, touching up, making mistakes, touching up again, but I'm reasonably happy with it. It's table ready. Now I want to just get some wash in these grooves that you don't really see on the camera, and dirty it up a little bit. Not as bad as some of the other stuff I've done. Not quite as thick. I'm going to make it a light wash. I'm already seeing some places I got to touch up a little bit more. And then I added the extra stand so that it would stay up straight with the one that's the top is on it. I'll take some pictures from the side so you can see what it looks like now that we're looking at it from the top. But things are looking good. So I mean, I'm still working out an adventure, but run this at the next Mythicon in Charlotte. I will take both my flying boats and create a steampunk fantasy type setting on my own, or find one that fits. Who knows? I just run a airship adventure. So till next time. I've got the gun to mount on this nozzle like that, because otherwise if I mount it like that, it hits the ground. So I'm going to pin it this way. Now it won't be able to move after that, but that's okay. So table ready. On top of that, I printed out some platforms and doors. These are the first prints I did for these platforms, but they were too thin, and so I did it thicker. Those are resin prints. On my PLA, I reprinted and rescaled a walkway. I want to paint this probably gray. I still didn't like my granny gray walkway. I wanted something a little more defined, and so I went ahead and printed this. I'll prime that and paint that, as well as these. These will get primed shortly. Let me go ahead and pin this. All right, we're back with the boat. I printed a better platform than the granny grade. At least I feel like it's better. It's more sturdy and kind of more uniform. I painted it up gray. Part of this that I want to do is put something on the other side of this door that somewhat matches. I mean, table ready. Not going to get exactly match. That's kind of a cartoony door. Printed out a door that kind of matches, sort of whatever, about the same size. So I'm going to try to get that on the other side, just to eyeball it. These windows, I'm going to put some washers just to kind of match those. But on top of that, that door's got to go somewhere. Made some platform.
A little bit more work done. As you can see, I've got a platform, a ladder, and the door inside on the other side of this door. Then I realized, there's another door right there. Forgot I'd done that. This is from a 40K bit, and so I printed a equal size door for the other side. I'm going to paint these up. They're just primed right now. I'll put it on that side here. And what it'll lead to is this platform. I'm going to make this an elevator. So I'm going to put some rails that'll lead down into here so that it looks like it'll go down here. That is another plan. Just little details. Also put a door on the front, right there, and a door on the other side. I think I may put another platform up here. Put a platform right there. I'm getting close to the end of this. I did some more painting. I enhanced the lines for the plating a little bit. I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't do a whole wash. I tried to stay in the lines and then, dry brush just around it. I'm pretty happy with that. That platform they worked out really well. Okay. Until next time. I've done a little bit more work on this, just kind of add some more detail. It's been real fun to play with. Added a ladder here. I had a long ladder that I could use from sprues that I just cut up. Added a ladder here. Of course, that ladder was there. And then there's my elevator. Used coffee straws to do some kind of struts for it. That'd look great. Table ready. But one thing that bothers me when I put this door in, there's just like this gap, and I'm going to build a frame for it because there's this latch that the top kind of hooks onto, and I didn't want to get rid of that. So I'm thinking about taking some sprues. I use sprues for a lot of things, and these are the 40K sprues. And what I like about it's got these bumps that the injector put the plastic into, so they kind of look bolt. I kind of just want to give this door sort of a frame that covers up a gap. kind of like that. Just need a little bit of a frame. All right, this is almost done. I want to get those details in. Until next time. Well, I'll call this a finished product. I did a little more dry brushing, and the biggest change, I put a skull into it. I'm not going to paint that. I think it kind of matches with the Reaper sides that I put on there. I mean, there's still some logistics that are just going to have to work out in game. For instance, how do you get down into here? And I think the access from here is a good way to kind of portray that. Just to go through that door, and you come into here, and go out to here. Now from this to down there, it's either jump here or there's some logistics that I'm just not going to really deal with. Used up all my ladders. One thing I was thinking about doing, and I don't think I'll do it now, but was put a platform across here so people can stand on it. But if this is here, you've got to be pretty short or you're crawling or something. So, but I got the elevator, I got the dry brushed in here a little bit, all the platforms, everything's looking good as far as I'm concerned. So this is a completed project. I don't know what you want to call it. I think I'd call it the Reaper. Actually still working on trying to get an adventure on it. I think it's good. I love it. I'll take some pictures. Until next time, seek the wolf in thyself.